What's up, everyone? Hope everyone had a good week, is currently healthy and or getting healthier. Definitely keep that social distancing going, but let's take a look at how the week went and what we can do going forward. The Dow Jones dropped 17.3%, going from 23,185 to 19,173. Nasdaq going from 78.74 to 68.79, a drop of 12.6%. The Dow, of course, got hit harder by Boeing, possibly filing for bankruptcy, seeking a bailout. Who knows what's going to happen there. You'll notice that I saved the S&P for last today because I want to take a look at the technical levels we mentioned last time. And we pointed out the February 2018 low was 2550. And you can see this week on the S&P chart, it's no coincidence that we topped out there twice on Monday and Tuesday and we couldn't get over it. As a result, that line became resistance and we dropped below it. Now what's troubling, other than the fact that the S&P was down 15%, is that we actually closed Friday below the previous December 2018 crash low of 2350. Now, unless we get some good news, traders are talking about the next level, the next support level for the S&P being 2030, which is down another solid 10+% from here. So is that where we're going at this point? Unfortunately, I have to say yes, unless we can get some good news. A potential place for the good news is treatments that are supposedly working, at least anecdotally. The FDA and the infectious disease guys are saying not to put too much false hope on them because all the stories of these drugs curing people with COVID-19 are just anecdotal stories. I think there's a little bit more to it. Obviously, our FDA is extra careful in how they release drugs and recommend them. But here's a few drugs starting from the left side that we're going to take a look at. The malaria drug that President Trump has been touting most frequently is named chloroquine. And studies have shown that this drug could stop the spread of the original COVID disease, aka SARS, that happened back in the early 2000s. How it works is that it interferes with the virus's attempt to replicate and attach to a receptor. Unfortunately, there is a side effect, and we're seeing it in some African nations. An overdose of this drug can lead to poisoning or death. The next drug, the Japanese flu drug named favipiravir, how it works is it turns a patient negative for COVID-19 in 4 days instead of 11 days. It was shown to work in Japan and China, but again, very anecdotal, and we don't have any FDA tests just yet. Third, we have the Regeneron drug named Kevzara, which is an antibody to prevent lung inflammation. As you probably know, lung disease and past breathing issues are really what's killing the elderly who have been exposed to COVID-19. The three headlines on the right all refer to one drug. It is named remdesivir and it is produced by Gilead. How it works is it cripples an enzyme called RNA polymerase that is used by many viruses to copy themselves. If the virus can't copy themselves, then they can't really spread throughout your body like COVID-19 has been doing, and your body can eventually fight it off very quickly. Now, I have three headlines of this because this is the most promising drug, and it is already in clinical trials, and we're expecting results either this week or next week. So really, there's a lot of hope put on this. As you can see from the last headline, the dampened outlook comes from the fact that some patients treated with remdesivir reported significant gastrointestinal symptoms and elevated liver enzymes. So this is definitely a safety concern, and as I previously stated, our FDA is very cautious about side effects, and we definitely, for sure, all of us don't want to cure one disease while causing another. So as you obviously know by now, stocks are getting dumped, bonds are getting dumped, but I feel like not every stock is created the same, and here's a few companies I think that are worth buying now. As you can see here, I have an entry point and levels where you can add should the market continue to tank. So definitely don't go all in at once. Buy maybe a third to a half, maybe even a quarter position at a time, and add at these levels. These levels are all technical levels where machines and or human traders are likely to go in just because they want to hit that previous V. So here's a brief overview of these companies and why I like them. First, we have Procter & Gamble, maker of Bounty paper towels, Crest toothpaste, and Tide laundry detergent. Obviously, even if we're in a recession, we're going to need all three of those things. Apple, this one's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people like Apple phones, Apple products, and they have monthly subscriptions for a lot of their services and products. Kimberly-Clark, the makers of Scott toilet paper, Kleenex tissues, Cottonelle toilet paper, and Huggies diapers, similar to Procter & Gamble, recession-proof. Starbucks. It might surprise you to know that they are almost 90% back online in China. All those stores are back open. Currently, Starbucks still has drive-through here in the United States, so they probably aren't hit as bad as the market is pricing in currently. Facebook. This one's probably a little controversial, but I think their advertising business will take a small hit, but not as big as the projected hit right now, according to the stock price. Target. If Walmart can hit an all-time high, I think Target shouldn't be that far behind, as they are similar. They have less groceries, but very similar goods that people need, and they do have delivery and pickup. And finally, Microsoft. I've pushed this one a few times. We got down to that 135 level last week, and it's bounced. Doesn't mean it will go straight up from here. I could definitely see it drop into 120 if the entire market goes to 2030 on the S&P, and even 95 if we just completely get obliterated and the S&P goes to 1700 or so. But I will take Microsoft Office, Skype, Link, and all their other services, which now have annual subscriptions, meaning the company has annual revenue, over a lot of these other tech companies and other things that have just been thrown out. And in conclusion, ending on our lighter note, of course, as you know, toilet paper, there's been a lot of shortages. Restaurants are not allowed to do dine-in anymore. So what does this Minnesota bar do? They offer a free roll of toilet paper with any $25 takeout purchase. Now this, in my opinion, is absolute genius. These guys need to be commended. I have a link below as to why people are hoarding toilet paper. It has to do with a actual psychological concept named retail therapy. No, that's not just an excuse your wife or girlfriend uses to go out and shop and spend all your money, but it's actually a psychological thing. So take a look at that in the links below, as well as if you want to read in detail about anything else I mentioned today, all the links are below. Thank you guys for tuning in to this video, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay healthy, stay away from others, and see you soon.